Hello, madam.
Okay, so I thought you were going to say something on the request as well. What did we say? What was the main difference, or what thing can we use to distinguish between the inquiry letters and then the request letters? What was the underlying difference? Though they may look similar, but the motive behind it. What motive is behind each of them? Let's take the inquiry first. What did we say about it? Frida.
All right, thank you. With the inquiry letters, they are for seeking information or clarity on something.
Good.
Yeah.
And then request.
And then request is asking for something.
Okay, it goes beyond just asking or seeking
Yes.
information, but mostly we said for request, an action is supposed to be performed. So
Sure.
if you are requesting for the services of the person, you are expecting that the person will provide the services on a particular date, of which you would have to communicate that date with the person and the terms of agreement or pricing or whatsoever. If it's a request of some product being brought to your home, like a delivery service, or okay, that is also a service, but a form of product where you may consume the product and the service simultaneously. I mean, in any of the two ways, an action is supposed to be performed. So it goes beyond seeking information because an action is supposed to be done. That is for request. And for the inquiry is merely seeking out for those information. And of course, that information would inform you on what decision to take, whether you go ahead and probably have a business deal with them or not. Or you are probably just getting knowledge to for somebody else consumption. So that goes hand in hand. In all ways, what did we say should be the content of the message? As each and every type of letter imply inquiry, since you are requesting for some form of information, you have to let your request known. So making your request known, what do you do? Introduction. You briefly introduce yourself and the reason for what? For asking that information. Let them know that you are not a detective or how do you call them? Those who plot, oh, what's the name? A spy, or you are not taking that information for any bad thing, but you have clear intentions. Let them know your clear intentions and let them write in your letter the reason for that information. Why are you requesting for probably the kind of program? Because your intention is to know the probably the programs being run at the school and see if you will be able to take part in the program. You are requesting for a product. You want to find out what products are served in the organization so that if you would buy, let them know. That is it. So the body itself, we explained in detail what should be entailed. And in summary of the body of the letter, what did I emphasize? There's one particular thing that runs through all the types of letters. It's about what? Your summary or conclusion of the letter. Do you remember? I said something. Okay, Frida.
I think looking forward for feedback.
Yes.
Don't know.
Apart
Yeah.
from looking forward for the feedback, there's one particular thing that I said, no matter what, today we are going to look at complaint letter. That one is especially people, because it's a complaint letter, they don't even want to mention that because they're already annoyed or angry of a mistreatment or grievance about something. And what I was saying was to always thank the reader. thank the reader, no matter the type of letter, especially the complaint. It is hard for readers, the writers, those who wrote the letter, especially when it is a complaint. It is difficult as humans as we are to thank them, because you're already bored and annoyed with the kind of product you have received. So no thank you. But we are saying even complaint letter, you should what? Thank the readers for his time. The same applies to all types of business letters. It is good to show appreciation. Be appreciative of somebody spending part of his time to read your letter. Okay. So today we move on. We discuss the principles of effective communication. Do you remember them? We summarize this into 6 C's: conciseness, clarity, completeness, correctness, and what? Courtesy and consistency. We discuss all these things. All of these things should reflect in your letter. Strategies for effective document writing, or any document you're writing, the strategies, whether business letter or memo or whatsoever. We emphasize on brevity. Brevity, that means what? You should keep it short and also straight to the point. Avoid using unfactual terms that are irrelevant. Some people want to be blowing their horn in business letters and all that. When it comes to advertisements, it is accepted, but business letters, because it is more formal, we try as much as possible to avoid all forms of jargons and other things. So we say make it clear, concise, logical. Focus on the recipients. Focus on the needs of the recipients. Don't just talk about yourself all throughout, but let your attention be on the recipient. How do you see this in your business letters? Because when you know those whom you are addressing the letter to, you should know how you communicate to them. Which group of people are these? Which level of education are these people? They are laymen or people who may have not had so much higher education. And then you are using legal terms that you are not even breaking them down. Meanwhile, there are simplified terms that you can use for them to understand whatever information you are conveying. You get it? That is why we said keep the recipients in mind. Focus on them. Focus on their level of intelligence or their level of understanding to issues. How best do you convey this information to them? And it should be simple and use appropriate language. Of course, don't try to be like maybe you know it all, so you would want to use very technical language. If there is a need for you to use technical languages, try and explain those technical words. Yes, and then try and use the appropriate language. The usual language or the general one we have is the English language. So if you are, and even in using appropriate language, try and be consistent. You know that in terms of writing, we have the British style of writing. That is what we Ghanaians adopt. So if you are going by the British English, please make sure that all your words, British English has a lot of words that uses OUR. And the American words just goes with OR. For example, favor and other forms of words. Be consistent. If you are going by British, let us see. If you are going strictly American English, let us see. Don't mix them up. And then we have what? After everything, you are asked to review and revise it. I always emphasize on this because expression, content, everything is okay. But as soon as people easily are able to detect mistakes. So whenever you send information and then there are essential details, you leave them out, or because you're in a hurry, or grammatical errors, it doesn't speak for all of you. So in order to avoid all of these things, we said what? Review. If possible, give it to another person. with a technical eye to review before you finally transmit it to the reader. And now, because of AI and Grammarly and other forms of checks, you can just put it on Grammarly or AI or any forms of checks that they can check your grammatical expressions and everything to correct all of these mistakes before you finally deliver your letter or your message. So double check and then ensure it is devoid of all grammatical errors. Now, business letters, we discuss inquiry and request. Today, we are moving on to complaint letter. Just as the word says, what does it mean? Whenever you want to send a letter to address a wrongdoing, an offense, a grievance, or resentment arising out of a product, that is a complaint letter. So, can we give an example? You bought a product, especially these electrical gadgets. This hot weather, you've gone to buy Hisense air conditioner, and then you've been told how many years warranty? Is it 20 years or 10 years? Let's say 10 years warranty. And it has not even been up to a week. You turn the air conditioner on and all of a sudden noise. The next minute there is smoke. Hey, what is happening? Because of air conditioner, you're going to burn down the whole building. What do? You are so much annoyed that you wish you can just storm into the business premises and then show them action, right? But it is not done. You need to put it in writing and you ask yourself, how do I convey my resentment? How do I convey this information to show how serious the issue is? How do I go about it? Introduction, what do? You identify the issue you are complaining about. So what is the issue? The issue is about a faulty electrical appliance you bought. Meanwhile, perhaps when you bought it, it was even tested at the organization before it was sent to you. Whatever the issue is there is what? An electrical fault. So talk about that issue. Don't go and talk about other issues. You are complaining of electrical faults. Don't, even though the fault had led towards probably destroying other of your electrical appliances in the home. Don't talk about those ones and leave the actual electrical appliance that it got destroyed. So talk about the issue itself. So what are some of the information that you are supposed to put in your letter? For example, you come back and look at the format of a business letter, which we will talk about the dates and all that. But for a complaint letter, the main issue to be discussed, you should provide the dates of which the issue happened. So probably you even bought the electrical appliance on 30th November. And you have not used it, you are waiting till 25th, which is Christmas Day, so that you own it since you are expecting some visitors. And unfortunately, just like preparing jollof, on a normal day, no wahala. But on a special occasion when you want to, show your cratchy powers, that is when jollof will disappoint you. So perhaps you bought it on 30th. You have not even used the appliance, and then you waited till 25th before you use the appliance. The issue is you have to tell us the dates that happened. Whatever you are complaining of, when the dates happen. You can equally tell us the dates you bought the appliance. So you can tell us you bought the appliance on this date, but on this date is when it developed fault. So you realize that your letter will have two different dates in the body of the letter, and that is what I'm talking about. So the date that you probably had your service, or if it's a product, when did you buy that product? It is there. And please, such products, make sure you always have receipts. Don't throw your receipt away, because it is the only evidence to show that you indeed patronize from a particular organization. So as you prepare your complaint letter, this information should be there. The date that the action took place, whether the date you bought the appliance or the dates that the appliance actually developed fault, or you notice that it has been faulty. It is not only for electrical appliance. This is just an example. So I am using an electrical appliance as an example. So the date, the name of the product itself. In fact, if there are details or specification of that particular product, you have to name all of these things in your complaint letter. Don't just say that, oh, I bought an air conditioner and then it is Hisense, that's all. Maybe which grades, if we have grades, special grades or special features, name them. So not just about the name of the product, but the specifications as well, model number, prices, warranty information, and all of these things are relevant information that should be in your introduction. Do you get it? And also, once again, please don't put emotions into the letter. When I talk about emotions, I know people students would be like, Madam, these people have taken, when we were buying their product, they were giving us pressure to pay their money, even when we were asking them to give us time to pay them in bits. But now when it got faults, when it developed faults, I'm so angry and all that. So the way they put pressure on us, if it has developed their fault or something, I also have to put pressure on them. So they want to put so much emotions into the letter. No, it is not done. Remember the 6 C's. We talked about courtesy. So use what? Appropriate words. Don't use abusive words, verbally abusive words, but use the right words in it. Don't show too when you talk about emotions, you know them. So let us not see that you are so angry. You will see that you are so angry by the choice of words you use. Sarcastic words and all those things. Please, let's avoid those things. Okay. Are you on course? Are you hearing me? Can you all hear me?
Yes, please. Yes, please. We can.
Yes, madam.
Is it recording? Okay. Yes, I know some of you be online, but will be at the kitchen
We're
preparing
hearing you.
meals. So I will start mentioning your names. So that if you don't respond, your husband will respond to you. Your husband will respond
Yeah.
to you. And then I will notice that you are at the kitchen preparing the jollof
Madam, we
rice.
beg. Madam,
We
we
are
beg.
here.
You see, I have technical eyes, so okay. Some of you too, we will deliberately say we would show video, and then you would put the doll, put your wig on it, put your spectacles on it to represent you while you are sleeping. We have seen all these tricks. You continue laughing. Anyways, so what was I saying? Complaint letter, main body. What should be there in the main body? State what you'd like to be done to resolve the issue. Do you understand? So you have complained of whatever that happened in your introduction. Now the main body is there has been a malfunction of it. Fine. That is the problem. What should be done? Do you want a refund? Do you want a replacement? Or you want it to be repaired? So you should state it. Don't presume that they should know better. I've told them that the thing is sport and they are there, they are not acting. No, you have to tell them, okay, these are the issues. I've seen some leakages and other things. And you feel that leakages to you, it is not a big issue, but it can be repaired. Tell them that they should come and repair it. Or tell them that you want a replacement. Or tell them you just want your refund. They should give you your money and they should come for the items you are no longer interested. Tell them what you want. Then the conclusion. But in all cases, you know that they are going to give you feedback. So they may negotiate with you. For example, if you're asking for a refund, they may negotiate with you that maybe they can give you a replacement or they would. So for that one, it is an aftermath. It's a letter that you would probably negotiate with them on what to be done, but tell them what you want. If you don't tell them what you want, they'll just give you what they want. Then the conclusion is saying that even though you're not happy about it, you have to thank the reader. And that is what I always emphasize. Thank them. And in fact, for the second part of it, myself, I will not do because I'm already annoyed. Complaint letter, you are what? Resentful on being unfairly treated. So people may argue with me, but it is best or it is very nice when you go ahead not only to thank them, but to compliment them for at least a positive thing they did. For example, if you had bought the electrical appliance, you can thank them that the services they provided were so good. The delivery man was kind enough to help you fix your gadgets and did not even receive the tip you offered. It was a good compliment, or a compliment that you like other parts of their services and you want to compliment them for that. However, this is the fault or this is the issue you have with them. So let us see that at least though you are complaining about not getting the best treatment, you are complimenting them on something positive the organization has to offer. And that add up towards psychologically, whoever gets a complaint letter like this, who does not see all about complaints, but has seen at least one single compliment in your letter, would be willing to help you. You see, psychologically, for example, where you are kids yourself, you have kids. Your kids are always come, mommy, we need this, mommy, we need that, mommy, we need that. And now Christmas season, not even one kid came to say, mommy, thank you for this delicious meal. How will you feel? Assuming that your love that you are skipping this class and putting your phone online for me to see that you are online, but you are busy frying the chicken and it got bent. And then you have sacrificed all of these things and they are all complaining that jollof you papa, man na me papa. Oh, nobody even said that. Oh, though I but the jollof is nice. How will you feel? Do you get it? So it happens here. Even though you are writing a complaint letter, you are saying that you should do what? Compliment the firm for something positive you like about the company. Okay. Can we move on? All right, so
Yes.
sales letter. All right, sales letter. Sales letter. What is the meaning of sales letter? Sales letter. I know we have a lot of businessmen and women on this platform. So you should be familiar with sales letter. Okay. Samilia.
Madam.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe talking about sales, that is maybe your purchases and whatever that you have made. So if I'm writing on sales, maybe to another department, I could be asking for them to send me some items or a payment on certain items that has been made that I want clarification on. Any of this is possible.
Okay. Who else will try? Don't you have males here? It seems all of them are females. Augustina. Augustina is busily frying plantain. Okay. Sales letter is written for the purpose of what? Initiating a product or service. What does it mean? We just like our market women. Sometimes you don't intend buying anything from them. Especially, no, let me forget about these market women and talk about these Kumasi shoe sellers. That is where you would, your entire life, that is where you hear romantic names. Like Ahwafe, Medofopa is strategy. Why? Because they want to draw your attention to their wares, right? So the same way that these people, even though you sometimes you don't even plan buying shoes from them, but because you are passing at that side, some of them would even particularly drag you, put the shoe on your leg and tell you, see how this shoe fits you. And what would persuade you to buy the shoe. So it's all about what? Persuasion. But this time around, we realize there's not even it's by force. Sometimes the way they do it is not even persuasion, it's by force. They are forcing you to buy what you don't like. Anyways, but sales letter, the ideal thing was to persuade, to convince customers or potential buyers to buy your products or your services. The same way in letter writing, what do? You should give them a convincing statement that aim to attract the potential buyer or capture their interest, and to persuade them over your competitors. So the issue is, why should I buy from company A and not from company B, even though you are producing similar goods? Because company A probably has a very good sales strategy or some mechanisms to persuade you, to convince you that their product is the best. So one that will convince you that they are doing better than their competitors. And that is the aim of sales letters. So what should be in the first paragraph of a sales letter? What should be there? You need to provide the details of the products or the service you are selling. You need to tell your reader the cost and the quality of the product or service. Remember, sales is about convincing, persuading them to buy your product. So first and foremost, don't come and talk without telling us the name of the product. What are you selling? Sometimes some people bad advert, for like 30 minutes, you don't even know the exact thing that they are showing. Before at the end of the whole long talk, before they will bring the product, and you realize that the adverts and even the product they are selling, there is no correlation. There is no correlation. Sometimes I marvel and say, there is no correlation. You cannot connect anything to any of the adverts. And that is a poor form of advertising. I always watch them and I laugh. You see, the same thing, if you do the same thing in your sales letter, you realize that you will not be able to convince any customer, any potential customer. So what do? Straight away, let them know what you are selling. What are you selling? What is the product? Tell them the benefits of the product. Let them know how worth the product is. So second paragraph, tell your reader the worth of the product, the uniqueness, the benefits. Make them know that they are even a lot of satisfied customers who have also, they are more like church programs, you realize you go there, you will be on television, and then people will be sharing their testimonies. And because of people's testimonies about what they had encountered, you realize that, hey, and then so for your bad, hey, you see, then they'll be drawing to them. It's the same applies to your sales. So don't just tell us the benefit does this. We have not seen anybody using your product. Why should I be the first one to come and use your product? You see, that is the idea of the mentality of most of us Ghanaians, especially. They want to see that somebody else has used the product and has confirmed that indeed the product is good. So let us see those list of people who have also used their product and have testified that indeed it is good. That should be in your second paragraph or the body of the letter. It should be entailed. It should be part of the body of the letter. And in conclusion, what do you say? You request for a response from your reader. Don't just sell whatever you want to sell and go and say thank you. Let them know that it's an information. So you are expecting feedback. In fact, even though not all feedback will be positive, but let us see that you are optimistic. You are hoping for what? A positive feedback. You are expecting response, positive response from them. And you are looking forward to even having business with them. You can put a phrase like that. You are looking forward to having what? Business with them. You are expecting feedback from them. Let us see that. So request for a response from your reader and appreciate their time. I always say it's thank them for your time. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate your time for reading and all that. So that will be your concluding aspects of it. Any question? Are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We move on towards recommendation letters. What is recommendation letter? Please, we are not going to do the lecture method as we've done in the previous week. So I expect you to talk. Even the sales letter, you should be the one telling me because all of you are business women. I know a lot of you are selling a lot of things and you are just quiet. So recommendation letter. Have you requested for one before or have you written on behalf of your employee? Which of them have you performed? Mercy.
A recommendation letter. Can I come in? Ma'am?
Okay.
We can say that it's a formal document actually, because it's in a formal way that maybe your superior writes about an employer or the subordinate. Maybe
Okay.
saying certain praises or something about the person, recommending the person to another organization or something. Just that's it. But recommending somebody to another, maybe just a second, to maybe the person is applying for maybe an attachment somewhere or a job, or maybe sometimes in the university when you're applying for, let's say, maybe a PhD program or master's, at least your superior or your lecturers will recommend you to those people, saying good things about you or your capabilities.
You have summarized it all. Good. Well done. Okay. So I wanted to ask, have you written one yourself or did somebody else write for you?
Someone has lecturers have written some for me
Okay.
when I was applying for a
All
program.
right. All right. That's good. So what goes into it? Let's see. Can you mention a few items? So, as you rightly said, it highlights your skills, your personality, your qualities that are related to the job position you are applying for. If you are asking for a recommendation letter for a job, your immediate employer is the one to what recommend you for another job. Assuming you are applying for a higher school or institution, both locally or foreign countries, you still need a recommendation letter. And then this time around, it wouldn't be your boss because you're not applying for working a sort of job, but for schooling. So an education is from your previous school. So probably your lecturers, undergraduate lecturers may write for you so that they recommend you, highlighting on what your skills in school, your educational background, your attitude towards work, and then even your intelligence quotient, your IQ, your level of IQ and all that, telling them your readiness for the upgrade or for the higher institution that you want to go. So they highlight all of these things. And it can be done by academic professors, as I've said, for applying further studies apart from the job. So they are in two ways, either applying for a job, a similar job, a higher job, or for further studies and all that, you need a recommendation letter. One may also ask, in recommendation letter, if the person has a very bad character or something bad, negative thing about the person, do you put it in your recommendation letter? That's a question to the class. Assuming you have a subordinate who was very good, very punctual and everything, loyal and everything, but he had one weakness, and that one weakness was gossiping or was a thief. He was was stealing from the organization. Do you write that in the person's recommendation letter? What is your take on that?
Me, I think it depends on whatever that weakness is. If it is going to have an adverse effect on whatever, if not, I don't see why you should put it there, because it is going to defeat all the qualities that you have spoken about the person, and I don't think it is going to work well.
Well, I'm yet to come across any recommendation letter that has, instead of highlighting the person's skills or personality or the good qualities, they were rather highlighting the flaws of an individual. So in other words, you don't highlight the flaws of an individual or the weakness, but you highlight their strength. Unless the person come man to man informally and ask you, please tell us about this person, because the way we are seeing this person, if there is any secret, tell us. That one to one, oh, that one, it is not even the best to do that unless you have a special interest or you want to call on to a therapist to help the person. If the person has a psychological problem or something, that one is informal way of probably informing the higher authority so that they will be aware that maybe there's a psychological problem here and there. So if they are ready to help, then fine. But if you are writing a formal recommendation letter, your strength should be what? Highlighted more than your weakness. Okay. Follow-up letters, as the name suggests. What does it tell you? Follow up. Oh, I'm going to follow up on my application. What does it mean? It means you had already written an application, right? An application letter, or you had written something. Okay, you had already, let's use inquiry. You had already inquired about certain information from an organization, and you've been told that at the moment that information is not ready for you. So maybe in a week's time, follow up. Or if it's a request, you have requested that something should be done on a particular date, and then the date is approaching, you want to find out if truly that action that is supposed to be taken on that date will be taken, because you don't want disappointment. You need to follow up before the due date. But what do we see these days? We wait till the date is due, and then we call giving out our grievances, and then we call this organization. They were supposed to come here for my event, they were supposed to do this on my event, and then they didn't show up, and then you'll be dragging them on social media. Meanwhile, before the due date, you should have follow up and find out if they still have your date in mind, or they have a calendar that they have marked that day as the day that they are actually going to work with you. Other than that, you'll be there, and then all guests or your people will be there waiting for you, and then there will be no cake for whatever event you are hosting. So follow up. That means what? You need to is ready to inquire about the status of a project. So the project, how far has it gone to an application or delivery to an item? To remind, follow up. The whole idea is to what? Remind the person they are writing the letter to about their request. That is the ideal thing. It's about giving them a reminder. When you are following up on something, it's a reminder. So you keep on reminding them, and at that time, when you do that, it will at least put them on their toes so that they deliver whatever you want them to deliver for you. And then we have, I think, last but not least, is the order letters. Order. This one to I'm going to call out somebody, because this Christmas, I know all those on the platform today have ordered something, right? Who hasn't talked today? Beatrice. Auntie B.
Hello, madam.
Yes.
Please, you called me.
Yes, because you are not listening. You don't know why I called
Please,
you.
I'm listening. You were saying something about other concerning this Christmas.
Okay. Yes, this Christmas, what did you order?
Okay, so I ordered an hair, human hair. So I
Nice.
placed an order online. They were
Okay.
having an app, so I used the app to place an order, and then it was delivered to me.
Okay.
So to me, order is in the form of buying something, but you have to wait for a while before the item gets to you.
Okay. So what information do you put there?
Okay, my name, the amount that I was supposed to pay, and then my address where it should be delivered to.
Okay, good. You have summarized it all. So just now, because of the app, most of us don't go through all these. We don't use the business letters. I mean, writing an order letter, but everything has been simplified using the app. Sometimes
Yes.
there will be like the options will be there, then you just fill it, right? You fill your name, you fill your particulars, your details, and you are good to go. But in writing a formal business letter, like an order letter, just as the name applies, and just like you said, the information that had been summarized for you, put them there as well. So for example, the same proceedings, introduction, what are you ordering? This is not the time to talk about irrelevant things outside what you are ordering. Just go straight to the point and tell us what you are ordering. I am ordering what? 10, okay, 10 quite also. Maybe a set of furniture. So the set may be like 4, depending on your room size and other things. And then probably looking at your room size, tell them the kind of length you want, describe it in details and all that, the price. If there are discounts, state them. In fact, everybody wants discounts. So even in your formal assessment, when you go ahead and then tell us that you'd appreciate a discount, or you want to ask if there are going to be discounts or something, let us see that. And let's see all the necessary or relevant information pertaining to the product or service you are ordering, okay? And at the end, what did we say? You still thank the reader for reading. Meanwhile, before you thank the reader, you'd also have to ask whether there is the need for you to make payment before delivery. Maybe part payment has to be made before delivery. The terms of payment, what are the terms of payment? Ask all these questions in your order letter. All right. I think that is okay for today. And the last business letter is job application letters that we discuss before we move on to the parts and how we put them down. So job application letters, before we move on to that one, for the business letters we have discussed so far, is there any question that you want me to address before we move on? Any question? Okay. Since there are no questions, we move on to the cover letter. That is the job application letter. Why do we call it a cover letter? Why do you think we call it a cover letter, the job application letter? Or you have never asked? You are like some of us. We just follow the trend. Oh, that's how we call it in our area. Oh. That is how we call it. We don't know the reason why we call it cover letter. Any idea? Frida, when you want to talk, don't bother raising your hand. Just
Oh, okay. So with the cover letter, I think it's called the cover letter because it gives the employer a brief overview of both your professional and then your qualifications. It summarizes them to the employer.
yeah,
That's why it's cover letter.
yeah, you said it all. So usually we say that it covers all that you have said in your CV, your curriculum vitae. You see, the CV ideally is to give us the details of the skills you have acquired, the educational background, the skills, the working experience, and all that you have gathered that is relevant to the job. That makes you what should be selected from the other competitors. So you realize that all of these things are detailed because that is where you are going to tell us the dates that you gathered those experience, if it's education, the date you had those levels of education, the skills you acquired when you had them and all that. But in your job application letter, you're only giving us a summary of it, a summary of your skills, a summary of your educational background, a summary of your working experience, or anything that is relevant to the job you are seeking for. So it covers, you see, we are using the same word, it covers all that you said in your CV. That is why we call it a cover letter. It summarizes it. That is good. Okay, I would also say that job application letter is like a sales letter, true or false.
True.
In fact, there are two letters imbibed in the job application letter. Can we identify those two? They have been, if you look at a particular job application letter, you will see that there are two levels. One part is taking a particular routine, and another part is taking a particular routine. Can we identify that? Somebody said yes.
Yes.
Okay, which part did you notice there?
That is this. Let me take the introductory part. You sell yourself. You want us to know who you are, your capabilities, and why we should employ you or why you fit for that particular job. And then getting to the conclusion part, you definitely ask for that you wish that you be given that particular position or job to do, and then you hope to hearing from them. That kind of thing. So it's like there's also an element of feedback in that.
Okay. Okay, so that is right. So job letter is a sales letter. I like the way you said you sell yourself. So there was this objective question I said some time ago. It has, and a lot of people were like, how can job application be a sales letter? But you've forgotten you are selling yourself. So if you don't look at it in the direction that my sister just said, you will think that no, sales letter there, you are selling products and services. So what business do you have with job application letter? But you are selling yourself, not selling yourself like the two tools so, but selling your skills, selling your competencies, selling the qualities that you have, that you are the best. Remember, in a sales letter, you are telling us that your product is the best of all. That is why you have to come and take Alomo bitters instead of Kumasi and what Obuasi are in competition, right? So Kumasi people say we not allow Obuasi to overrule us. Obuasi will say, hey, yeah, na yet so. Why should we go for Boasi bitters and not Kumasi bitters? Anyway, I don't drink, but I'm using this example. Okay, so what are we saying? You are selling yourself, and that there's a personal touch to it. So it's a personal letter and a sales letter as well. The personal touch of the application letter is found at the point that you don't, it is not like you are selling a product, so it's an external thing, but since it is you yourself, that is, you are selling that part of yourself. That personal touch has to tell us who you are, the skills you possess. Though you are selling them, you are also referring to yourself. You are. That's why you some of us will be like, I am an enthusiastic young lady. I am energetic. I am. Whose application letter did she start writing by saying, my father is this? None of them. All of them refers to what? The personal pronoun I. I am an energetic. I am a team builder. I am able to work under pressure. I am this, I am that, I am that. So the I that we see in it is looking at what? That personality, yourself. And then the other part of it is looking at selling yourself. So that is the sales letter. It's written to a job seeker, to a prospective employer to seek for what employment opportunity. And what is why do we have to not just write the cover letter or just give a summary, but we are saying that you should always attach a CV to your application letter. We have some people who write application letters and then they would write in their concluding aspects, CV upon request. Please, never ever in your life write that, CV upon request. No, it is not done. Which HR has the time to read your application letter and then would use the credits to call you and ask you, or even send a mail or a text message still with the credits? Which time would he get to call you and ask, sir, we have received your application letter, madam, so please bring your CV? They don't have time. So what do? All the time indicate in your application letter that attached to this letter is a copy of my CV. And that should be at the concluding aspect. Do you get it? So cover letter supports the CV, as we have already said, and is a persuasive approach. Just as we said, it is a summary of the CV. And as I said, highlighting your skills, your qualities, your educational background, and whatever you want to bring to the organization. Now it's about what you bring to the organization. No, it's not about what you want to get from the organization, but the opposite. What are you bringing to the table? Just as some of our men are asking us, what are you bringing to the table? So last but not least, I'll talk about what you also drawing their attention to the fact that you are expecting, you are hopefully, you put it in any ways that you put it. Let us see that you are expecting to be interviewed. So there are certain phrases I use like where are some of the letters I've written? I wrote something like let me go and see if I can have some old files here. I said something like, I'm looking forward, not just I'm looking forward to hearing from you, but I look forward to know, but one that shows that you want to be interviewed. Let me go and look for some of my old files and then read it. Right now, I've forgotten. I think it's been a while I wrote.
We hope your application will be considered and shortlisted.
Okay, but I want the one that you mentioned, the word that you are looking forward to be interviewed. And I put it in a very nice way. Well, I have a number of letters, but I think they should be in my mail somewhere. Let me see. Yes, see if it's what I say. What you said is not wrong, but I want you to capture. Yes, I have one. Oh, there's letter of appreciation. Oh shit. Me who appreciation is application. My main call straight back. There's one that you capture the word looking forward to discussing your skills in an interview. And I had a nice way that I put it. Letter back could be what I say wrong. I mean, really share. Okay, I said enclosed. So then look at the last paragraph. Enclosed is my CV, which provides further details about my qualifications and experience. I would welcome the opportunity to discuss my application and how I can contribute to the department's success. You see, then the next one is thank you for considering my application. Yours faithfully, then my name. So this is one style that I wrote. There's another style I mentioned, something interview. That is one. This is a current document. I used to have another type of letter that I mentioned how I said something my I spoke made the inevitable asset. I said in an interview, sir. But do you understand? Or I should read it again. So you should inform us, have a way to put it that you are expecting. So it is more like being optimistic. You are very hopeful that you'll be called for an interview. So let it show clearly in the letter that you are so kind of proud, you are very competent for the job, that you'll be called for an interview. So you are looking forward to that interview to discuss how your qualities are inevitable assets. Do you get it? How of discussing what you would want to bring to the table. Looking forward to that opportunity for you to discuss some of these things you have said in your CV. Do you get it? And it should be in the concluding aspects of Oops, we be different. Okay. And we have a lot of students who just write one application letter and then they send to all the organizations. Is it the best? Hello. Petrol letter back one. Yes, son. When I said they say, hey, when I get to I myself, I have a 10 legs. Each pair of legs is situated in one particular organization. So when you come, I'll compare all your letters there, and I will say that, Madam, I've got you.
Madam, please, why is it wrong?
Myself, I do it when I don't have time, and like if there is pressure, I don't. But at least I make. So you see, some of you overlook it, and for example, your address, you change the address, but you have forgotten that the address you use in the content of the letter, you have mentioned the name of the organization there. And then you forget to change the content. So you contradict. You are writing a letter to, let's say, Ashesi University, and you have written another letter to, let's say, Papini Central University, all for lecturing position, yeah, and the same content. And so do baby no in your letter and what you said that you are drawn to what? You are drawn to Ashesi University because it's resonates with yours. Like what I have here, I am particularly drawn to, let's say, Ashesi University because its mission and vision resonates with mine. I am excited about the prospect of contributing to the department's research and initiatives. So you have this phrase in your body. And because you are copying, and pasting, you have not taken this letter to Ashesi, but taking the content to which university, let's say CAF or any university of your choice. And then your address is CAF. And I want no one's son. What say you are drawn to Ashesi? You people, these are some of the petty things. So when you bring your assignment and I say you copy, I mean, I'll catch you. So, okay, do I have, I have some, you see the same, I would welcome the opportunity to, I had one, those days when I started I had one brofubi. I said, I'm looking forward. No, it's not I was looking forward, but I remember I had one English that I said, why my assets is why I remember this word, inevitable assets. Like I'm going to contribute that to the organization. So I'm looking forward for an interview. But I've forgotten how I actually put the phrase. So the whole idea is what? In your concluding paragraph, let us see that you would welcome an interview opportunity to discuss further the details of your CV. You get it? So whichever way you want to put it, just find a new English or very nice expression and put it there. That will draw your HR's mind that this person is not just writing for writing's sake, but is looking forward to be selected. You get it? And also, don't forget to say that you have actually enclosed your CV. You have enclosed your CV and never ever write that CV upon request. Hey, no. It's a no. No way. You don't have to write CV upon request, but rather say you have enclosed your CV. Enclosed is my curriculum vitae for your review. Simple. And then you look forward to discussing how your qualifications align with the organization's needs. And I think this is another letter. That's how I put it. I would welcome the opportunity to discuss how my qualifications align with your needs, your institutional needs, or the needs of the organization. Okay, then I go further to say, thank you for your time and consideration. I look forward to your positive response. So you see that in my concluding aspect, everything is positive. Everything is positive. I've attached my CV. I am looking forward to an opportunity to discuss my qualifications with them. That is the interview. That means that I am ready to be called for an interview. I have not, I'm now sending the letter, but I've indicated in the letter that I am ready to be called for an interview at any time. And then I have also said that I look forward to their positive response. And I've also thanked them for what their time and consideration. Perfect. You get it. So it's not just about writing this for your marks, but also any employer that takes the time to read your application letter will know that, oh, this person is good. Look at the way she's composed in her letter. Meanwhile, every relevant information is there. Your address, your dates. People write letters and they forget to date them. We will come to it in our next session right now. Any question? Okay. If there are no questions, then we are moving on to what? The part of a business letter. I'm sure today we will finish before 6 because after the parts, we end it for today and then we'll look at another topic on in our next meeting, which we are here to discuss the day and time. Part of a business letter. So ideally, these are the parts. We mention them and then we'll take them one by one. The sender's address. If you are using the sender's address, you can use them. If you want to use a letterhead, you use them. The date, reference line, special mailing notations, on arrival notations, inside name and address, attention line, which is optional. I'm just going to mention them and then let me get back to you. Hello. Hello.
Hello, madam.
Hello, madam.
Oh, I had a call and then I think I lost the network because of the call. So we are done. Let's continue. Today we'll close early so that I attend to something else. I think this is the last thing we are going to discuss. Then we say bye bye to this topic. Are you ready? So I'm just mentioning them, then you take them one by one and see how it fits there and give you some examples. So made mention of what these are the parts of business letter. So the attention line, the salutation, then you come to the subject line, the body complimentary close, signature, enclosure notation, and then the copy notation, which is optional. Okay. So part of a business letter. First and foremost, if you are writing a business letter, most of organizations would want to use a letterhead. What is a letterhead? Hello. What is a letterhead? Complimentary. Hello. Hey, the secretaries, don't you use letterheads in your organizations? Alice, you haven't spoken today.
Yes, madam.
Mm-hmm.
So, madam, a letterhead is the heading at the top of an official letter. That shows an important information about the organization,
Like some of the
like
things on the letterhead.
the name of the organization or institution, their address, maybe logo, their email, telephone number.
Yes, yes. So ideally, it's just the address of the organizations on top of the stationery, as in the papers, the carbon hard copies of the paper. So the A4 sheet. We have the usual A4 sheet that you will type your letter on it. When you have the normal A4 clean white sheet, you need to type your address on it. But some organizations have already printed their logo and their addresses on it. They have written it at the center of it, of every A4 sheet. So when they pick the A4 sheet, it already has the name of the organization, the logo, the mail, email, telephone number, fax number, and sometimes even the reference number and all that, depending on the kind of or transactions they have with different organizations and what they do. So that is the letterhead. Ideally, since the letterhead is the address of the company, if you have that stationery that has the letterhead already, you start typing with what? Your dates and the recipient address, your dates and the reference line. I'll talk about them as we process, prolong with the discussion. So if you have the letterhead, what did I say? I'm saying the letterhead simply refers to what? The address of the company. So the name and the address of the company is the letterhead. And when you are also writing a letter from an organization to another organization, of course, you write the name of the organization and their address before you write what that is the sender's address. So our basic school, in letter writing, what were we taught? sender's address on your right, recipient's address on your left, then the body, then subscription or complimentary clause on your right. That is the indented style. You come to the types, the formats, and all of these things, and you realize that it is not always the indented style. This time around, organizations even prefer the block style, and they feel like the block style is more formal, and that is what they mostly do, especially the fully block style. So when you are going by the letterhead, no need to bring another additional sender's address. That is why the part of a business letter, what have I indicated? Sender's address stroke letterhead. That means each one of them is accepted. Without a letterhead, write your sender's address. With a letterhead stationery, do not write the sender's address. I believe it is understood, right? So right after that, you have your date. And I'm saying the letterhead is usually centered. If you are asked to write a letter in your examination or assignment and you want to go by the letterhead, if you are writing it, try and write it in capitals letter and put it at the center. If not everything in capitals letter, at least, I mean, the name of the organization, everything, let it be capital letter. The address may be initial capitals, or you may have some small letters, especially when it comes to Gmail and other things. But if you want to use everything in capital letter, you can do it, and then try and center it. I'm using center because in writing, you know that in writing, when you want to center a text, sometimes it is quite difficult. But since your exams or your, I think, examination, you write them, right? You go to the sentence and write them. So you have to write in a way that you can clearly see that it is centered. But my assignment, everything is typed because it is even document processing. And you have to type it and send it to my mail. Whenever I request for the assignment, I would add the mail so that you just put it in the mail for me. For now, put the assignment and put it on the folder that I asked you to create. On the folder that I asked you to create. So, give me some few minutes. While I give you like 3 to 5 minutes, let me share this thing with you so that you will read while while so that is an example of a letterhead. Hello. Okay, so what I showed you is just a sample of the letterhead. I'll brush it quickly with you so that I attend to my child. She just woke up. Meanwhile, I will take my time and do an audio and send it to your WhatsApp for you, okay? So that during your leisure, I'll just explain these ones to you, the parts of the business letter, and then probably take short of the types as explained for the each type, whether fully blocked, semi-blocked, or the modified block, or the indented format. I believe it's clear. Okay. So for the letterhead, as I said, yes, including the emails, the fax number, the contact details of the organization. So that is the sender's address or the letterhead. Then the date, that is the date you are writing the letter. Right? You after when you are writing, whether any type, whether the fully blocked or the indented or the what style ever, whichever style you are writing with, after the letter head or the sender's address, you leave a space before you write the date. I believe you are aware that you don't add the date to the address. You definitely leave the space before the date and you leave a space, then the reference line. That is when you are going by the fully blocked. But when you are going by the indented format, usually the reference line is on the same line on the date. If you are going by the indented format, the reference line will be on your left before the recipient's address. Do you get it? So, assuming you are going by the indented format, and then you are not even using a letterhead, you are using the sender's address. So, the name of your organization and the address, you leave a space, then date is there, you leave a space, and okay, I'm saying indented format. So the dates and then the reference line will be on the same line as the dates, but the reference line will be on the left while the date is on the right. That is the indented format. But assuming it's the fully blocked, you know everything is at the left side of the the date. So fully blocked, everything is on the left. So sender's address on the left, leave a space, the date, leave a space, the reference line, leave a space, and then we have what we call the special mailing notations. Special mailing, what does it mean? Special mailing notations, what does that mean? Usually when you have a letter and then you are being told that, oh, this one is a special mailing notation, what does it mean? Have you come across any of such letters before?
No.
For example, you have some notice on the letter, such as special delivery, registered mail, certified mail, or air mail. So the special mailing notation indicates to the recipients the sender's special delivery method. So what is the special delivery method that the sender wants to use? The person wants to use a special delivery, maybe registered mail, certified mail, air mail. Go and find out the meaning of each of these 4 named examples and then see how it works with them. But that is the special mailing notations. And then before I move on to the arrival notation, nobody asked me of the reference line that I said. Do you have you wondered how easy it is to follow up letters? You remember we did follow up letters, right?
Yes.
How do you track these letters?
You can easily use the reference number.
Yes, by using the reference number. So every letter should have a reference number. That is for easy tracking of letters. So you come to UCC and then assuming you graduated 2010. How many years now? And then you are coming for an information at that time, maybe even assuming even you are now coming for your transcripts. Of course, if there are files, there will be reference numbers on the files, but that is for transcript. It's not even a letter, but I'm talking about letters. So you realize that the reference line is to indicate what? Reference numbers on it for easy tracking of what? Letters. Okay, so now what I'll do is, let's pause here and then I'll do the remaining of, we are just looking at the parts of the business letter and the format, whether blocked or fully blocked. I would, in the evening when I'm done with my activity for today, I will do the recordings and then the ones that I should add, I can add examples for you to see clearly what I'm talking about. I'll add them. I'll put everything on your WhatsApp, okay?
Okay.
All right, so we end the class today. In our next meeting, we would, I think there is one last topic also, because you have 4 teaching weeks and then we end. And then we'll brush through the whole thing again briefly. If you have any questions, put them on the WhatsApp page. Then we all address them and then we see how your questions would look like. Of course, I've already given you a hint that even though at the end of this unit, the slides gave you 3 letters to write, but try your hands on all of them. If you don't take care, the ones that the assignment doesn't cover is the one that would even come in your exams and your quizzes. You get it. So try your hands on all of them. For that one is a must. And go back and then remind yourself of the shortcut keys for your objective type questions. Those ones too are likely to come. Introduction to computers, those things are there. Keyboarding, everything is there. So the letters too are there. So just prepare. As for 4 teaching weeks, I don't even know what to teach. How can we have only 4 teaching weeks? We have a lot of things to cover in document processing, but I have to take some out. If there is time, I would want us to do the manuscript. Yes, formatting a business document, the manuscript is very interesting. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, madam.
Bye, madam. More madam attention, please.